In January of 2019, I lost 21 pounds in 30 days, cured my brain fog, and increased my energy. I want to tell you how I did that. Okay, so prior to 2019, I had been competing in bodybuilding at that point for roughly a decade, and I'd been monitoring my training, nutrition, being very intentional about what I've been consuming. I mean, for the 10 years leading up to this, I was eating 6, 7, 8 meals a day. I was locked in, dialed in, nutrition was on point, eating on a schedule, eating on a clock, training 5, 6, 7 days a week, sometimes twice a day. And I'd reached a point where a lot of what I'd been doing, I was very stressed, overwhelmed, overworked, had a lot of things going on in the business that I was running. So I'd reached a point where my health had kind of gotten out of control. As somebody that had prided themselves on being incredibly fit and healthy, to look in the mirror and see somebody that was 30 pounds overweight, that was beyond 20% body fat, it was very depressing to me, and I needed to make some drastic changes. And it was around this time that you would hear guys like Dr. Shawn Baker, Dr. Paul Saladino, Danny Vega from the Fat Fuel family, talking about the effects of what they were experiencing with going on a meat-only carnivore diet. So it was a test that I was willing to try out on myself. So in January 1st, 2019, I said for the next 30 days, I'm gonna eat 2 meals per day, and I'm gonna eat 2 to 3 pounds of meat. And it was simply a test. I wanted to see what I would be able to do, how well I'd be able to train and perform, and what the effects and benefits would be for me. So for that first entire month, like I said, I ate 2 to 3 pounds of beef per day, split off over 2 meals. Now, the physical effects came in the dropping of 21 pounds in just those 31 days. I went from 22% body fat to roughly 11% body fat. So I cut my body fat percentage in half in just 30 days. And I actually documented this on my own personal YouTube channel. But what was fascinating is after that first month, my energy had increased. My mental clarity was through the roof. With somebody that had been struggling with brain fog for years, it was so great to have a day where I could focus in on a task and remember what it was I was actually trying to do. So after that first month, I said, hey, I want to stick with this. So that entire year of 2019, I went on the carnivore diet, eating 1 to 2 meals per day. And it led me to losing, over the course of the next 6 months, roughly about 40 pounds off my own body. Now, a more amazing part for me was as other people were seeing what was happening in my life, they started to reach out to me. So my dad had been struggling with his weight for a very long time. He was in his early 60s and had surpassed 300 pounds. He struggled to get out of bed. He struggled to even walk to the mailbox. But as he was seeing me, he said, hey, I really like what you're doing here. I'm a big fan of steak. Do you think this diet will work for me? So my dad decided for the next 8 months to follow the carnivore diet as well, eating 2 meals per day. He ended up losing 80 pounds. He went from somebody that struggled to walk to the mailbox without being in pain to jogging multiple miles every single day. And I think a lot of things led up to this. Obviously, the elimination of all the processed food and all the processed garbage. We, as Americans and in the Western world, we eat out of boxes. We eat out of convenience. We order fast food. We order takeout. We buy the prepackaged meals. And while, yes, it is nice to be able to eat and have the convenience of doing this, there's a lot of garbage and glyphosates and buildups. And you do this long enough, and this creates a lot of inflammation in your body. And allowing your body to reset, for me, I think was one of the greatest things. Now, I haven't stayed purely on the meat diet since then. I've cycled back in. I've added fruits in now. I'll have carbs here and there. But for me, since making that decision back in 2019, meat, predominantly red meat, has become 80% of the staples within my diet. And the things that I've been able to see in my own life, as somebody that has been an athlete in training, I haven't lost any strength in the gym. No effects from my performance in the gym. Maybe some of the endurance as far as the total capacity, because I don't have as much carbohydrates in me, has dropped down, but it's not as important to me. I do feel and look better and younger. There's a new glow to my skin, which I think is obviously a byproduct of eliminating a lot of the processed junk out of my diet as well. But the greatest benefit that I've been experiencing is no longer needing 5, 6, 7 meals a day. These days, as a 39-year-old grown man, 6'3", 250 pounds, I operate on 1 to 2 meals per day, almost every single day. intermittent fasting. I wake up at 5, 6 a.m. My first meal is usually around 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And if I'm gonna have a second meal that day, I'll have it around 8, 7 or 8 o'clock. So I eat in a very short, condensed window, about 4 to 6 hour window. So I'm fasting anywhere from 20 to 18 hours per day. And it's improved my mental capacity. It's improved my mental cognition. It's improved my ability to stay on task and get a lot more done, both with shooting the content here at Critical Bench and also in running and operating my own businesses. So I'm an advocate of people eating meat. I know that there's a lot of talk and chaos out there about, you know, does meat cause cancer? Does it have all these things? I'm not here to debunk any of that, because do your own research. But when you look at it, it's not the meat, it's the other things, in my opinion, that a lot of meat eaters have eaten in the past. Because if you think about it, when we were told that meat was bad for you, the people that would eat the meat were also the people that were going to eat the dessert, maybe have the extra alcohol drink, maybe have the extracurricular activities in their life. So how much of what else they were doing was leading to some of the effects versus just the meat within itself. So long story short here, I believe that going on the carnivore diet can be a great reset tool for you. There's a lot of great videos that we can link down there in the description box here below, where we've gone some more in depth into how to set this up with you. But we want to share kind of an anecdotal experience of how this improved my life, of how this has kept my training at the level that it is. I haven't lost a beat in the gym, and if anything, it's made me better in every single area of my life, because I'm not addicted to a cooler. I'm not having to eat every 3, 4 hours a day, so it's giving me more time, more energy, more focus to get the things done in life that matter most to me. Now, I also believe that as men, we need to be prioritizing our health and hormones, and if we're not at an optimal level with testosterone, it doesn't matter what we put in our body. We could eat meat, we could eat vegetables, we could eat potato chips, but if our hormones are down, specifically our testosterone is below where it needs to be, we're not going to feel great. So what I want you guys to do is you click that link down in the pinned comment below. Check out our T-Drive product. It is an all-natural herbal testosterone boosting supplement that not only is going to boost your testosterone, but it's going to eliminate all the harmful effects of estrogen. Check it out there, Don. Make sure you optimize your hormones. But if you want to explore and try out a meat-based diet, I do think that there's a lot of great benefits that you can get from it. So hopefully today's story helped in you maybe seeing how this can play out in your life. But Coach Frank at The Compound, we love you guys. We'll see you in the next one.